Alright, which of the listed solids could be cut by a plane to create an isosceles triangle cross-section? There's more than one correct answer. Choose all that apply. Alright, so a sphere, a cylinder, a cube, a rectangular prism, or a triangular prism. Alright, well, I'm going to go right off and say a triangular prism could be cut to create an isosceles triangle. Because you could create it to where you get a cross section of triangle and you could cut it at one of these heights where these side lengths would be the same. So that is possible very easily with a triangular prism. So let's check a rectangular prism. Rectangular prism has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces, and so you could create a triangle with it being cut through 3 of those faces. So I only need to have it cut through 3 faces, and so I'm just going to kind of rotate this until I see it being cut through. I just want to cut through like this bottom corner because I know then that that's just 3 of those faces. So right there is that triangle, and there is going to be a height on here that these two sides are the same. So that does create that isosceles triangle right there, because these two sides right here that are going to be cut will be the same length if you keep that at that same angle. So rectangular prism is good. A cube, we could check a cube out. So each red point on the figure moves on all of the edges. So I only, again, want to cut 3 of these edges, so I just want to cut a corner. And so let's see if I move it over here, if we can get that. There's that triangle. Okay, so we could do the same thing with the triangle on the just corner right here, because the cube also has 6 faces, and so if you cut through 3 of these faces, you create that triangle. And so you can create an isosceles triangle. You could cut it to where those side lengths would be 2 of those side lengths would be the same. So now we gotta check out a cylinder. So if we have a cylinder, right now it looks like there's technically only 3 faces, because there's the top and the bottom, and then the hole around it is 1 face. So we'll play around and see if we can get a triangle. We got a rectangle right there. And I'm not sure. I'm wondering if that came ever to a point right there. If you could cut it, because you would only want to cut it through 3. Where that face, this whole solid face, is round, we would never be able to get these edges to be straight to a point, no matter where I moved it. So if I even moved it right up to that very just upper corner right here, notice that these edges right here are rounded, and that's because that face is round. So you can't do it out of a cylinder, and a sphere has all round faces. There's not a way to create 3 sides out of a sphere that only has, because the sphere only has 1 face. And so I wouldn't be able to create any other type of a cross section that has 3 sides, because I can't cut through 3 different faces, because there's not that many on a sphere. So that's how I would use this to help answer these types of questions. Also remember that you can have a cross section with the same number of sides as there are faces. So like the rectangular pyramid prism has 6 faces, so you could create a hexagon if you cut through all 6 of those sides at the same time. So that is possible, as well as just for a tip for future reference.